What's going on YouTube? Hayden back making another brand new Crypto TV episode. As always, if you guys are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe, turn on post notifications. We're doing a giveaway at 5,000 subscribers, which will probably be today or tomorrow. I'm giving away some Crypto TV merchandise for the channel to give back to you guys. That's a really cool event that's happening probably within next week, at least, at most, you know, by next week, I'll be doing this giveaway. So really cool. I got to figure out what exactly I'm going to do and how I'm going to do it, but definitely expect one of you lucky guys to win some Crypto TV merch. Otherwise, let's jump into today's episode. So as you guys saw in the title, something is going to happen to Litecoin in a big way really soon with whatever pattern it is trying to form. Otherwise, to discuss what we will be also talking about in today's episode, obviously some macro and microeconomic standpoints, technical analysis, looking at the chart, the crypto or coin market cap from an overall view, you know, a very wide, you know, outer zoomed lens and kind of looking into things, and then really going in depth with technical analysis. I also have a latest tweet from the Litecoin founder himself, Charlie Lee. We will be looking at his tweet that he recently put out. I think that's really cool. Otherwise, let's jump into today's episode. Let's look at the current coin market cap. We're looking at around $217 billion. And I don't know if I forgot to mention, but we're looking at Litecoin, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and XRP. I'm not sure if I mentioned that already, but other than that, market cap 217 billion. We're looking at a 24-hour volume of 11.5, and then a Bitcoin dominance of 52.4. So I strongly remember Bitcoin dominance is slightly higher than yesterday. We were at 52% exactly. So slight increase in the dominance, which means altcoins are getting hit today. 24-hour volume is very low, 11.5. Literally, that is very, 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 very low for the market overall. And we're seeing a slight dip in the market cap at 217 billion. We're at like 220 yesterday, if not a little bit higher. So again, big impact in a negative way. So we're probably going to see that when we just scroll down here. Majority of the market is in red. We're seeing some select coins up, not even by like 1 or 2%. But majority of the market does seem to be down. We're looking at the top 10 coins. 4 out of the 10 seem to be green. The other 6 are doing fairly okay, but they are obviously in a bearish, you know, standpoint where they're down today. Not necessarily a bearish move, but they're just down. The ones that are up and hanging in there, Bitcoin only 0.04%, Ethereum 0.08%, Tether 0.2%, and then Monero 0.57, but XRP taking the biggest hit out of the top 10 cryptos, down 6.2%. We'll be looking at that today. Bitcoin Cash down 1.5, Litecoin down 1.44. So majority of the market does seem to be doing okay, but for the most part, it's slightly down. It's just very, very, very slightly down, whether you want to call it consolidation or a slight pullback. That's what we're seeing, but nothing overall where we're just seeing like a bloody Saturday. We're not getting impacted that much. Moving on, though, I do want to show you guys Charlie Lee's tweet, and then we'll get into some technical analysis. So I'm on Ethereum World News, which actually is kind of a pun. Why is Ethereum World News discussing Litecoin? But whatever it is, it then says latest Litecoin news, Amazon gift cards and plan listing on cex.io. So scrolling down, you can see Charlie Lee's tweet right here. He wrote, I just bought an Amazon gift card using Litecoin, or using Litecoin, yeah, LN on Litecoin. I guess Lightning Network, duh. The payment went through instantly, and I got the gift card right away. Good job on the great user experience. Bitrafil, I guess that's it. Pay with Litecoin. Hashtag pay with Litecoin. Hashtag pay with Lightning. Bitrill.com, blah, 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 blah. So pretty cool. It also says cex.io is a cryptocurrency exchange founded in 2013 and has a successful run for most of the cryptos in the UK. And it says it's pretty much going to be listing Litecoin very soon. So that's interesting that another exchange is adding Litecoin to it. So a lot of stuff is happening within cryptocurrency. A lot of this positive news, but we're not really seeing any price action as of right now. And as we referenced yesterday's kind of quote, it said that a lot of these news articles that are being added or coming out and not directly impacting the price, it's pretty much like kindling for a future Litecoin and cryptocurrency bonfire in a bullish bonfire. So all this stuff that's coming out right now will entice investors and institutional, financial, retail investors, all of the sort, to, you know, better, you know, accept cryptocurrency and help them kind of soften their, their opinion on cryptocurrency and allow them to feel more comfortable in investing, so it'll definitely impact. It's not wasted news. It obviously does have a lot of potential. It's just not directly affecting the price. But moving on, though, we are looking at Litecoin, and it's very interesting. We did see a slight pullback from yesterday, so a lot of stuff is happening. Very interesting. We were at a high of 58, around 58, 56 as of yesterday. You can see we did see a slight pullback. There does seem to be some sort of channel that's forming. As of right now, you can see I'm going to draw the line right here. We're in a channel. You can see obviously the high-low MMA is acting as our top resistance, and around 57 is acting as a very small support for Litecoin on the 4-hour. Relative strength index does seem to be nice, only at around 43, so slightly lower than neutral, but it does seem that we could go in either direction, whether it's bullish or bearish. Very interesting change of events. The fact that we were in some sort of ascending triangle, it is possible that we can say this broke bearish. It is very possible, but there's a lot of stuff still happening. We did retest the top of the resistance right here previously, literally yesterday. We're at the bottom right here. I don't truly think we're out of this, whatever is forming. I don't think we're out of it yet. We're still in the higher low, format. We do have our higher lows right here. You can see forming, and our previous low right here. This I would consider to be one. It is very possible that we could continue to move up. So there is some sort of pattern that is still happening right now, and we're truly going to see whether or not this decides to break bearish or bullish. Now, like we've discussed in the past, a lot of this leading indicators that affect Litecoin's price movement is obviously Bitcoin. Bitcoin is the big brother of cryptocurrency. It is the father coin. So looking at Bitcoin, you can see that there is some sort of pattern forming on here. So when we're talking about that this pattern that is coming to an end in a big way, potentially bullish, that I said in the title, a lot of it is directly impacted with Bitcoin. So I mainly wanted to point out Bitcoin's price movement. And obviously, if Bitcoin breaks bullish, we're going to see a very, very, very nice trickle of volume moving into Litecoin and the other altcoins. But there was some sort of pattern that we were kind of seeing, or forming on Litecoin on the 4-hour, but it decided to take a ladder effect and trade in a very different way, almost like there is a potential downtrend, which is very interesting. I'm not sure if I'd call that a downtrend, but something like right here, it's possible that this is a downtrend of the sort. I don't know if I'd leave that there, but it is possible that we see some sort of reversal within Litecoin very soon and basically head back up to the top of this uptrend right here. But moving on back to Bitcoin, you can see we are practically coming to an end very soon with some sort of bullish pendant flag, bullish symmetrical triangle, whatever you want to call it, bearish symmetrical triangle, bull trap, whatever you want to call it. It is coming to an end very soon. You can see we do have our Elliott wave that formed. We do have the A, B, C, D, and we're completing E as we speak. So I would like to say within the next day or two, could potentially the start of next week, we're going to see some chain reaction that happens when we complete this, Elliott wave formation. It's very interesting. You can see we have been setting these higher lows and lower highs, which could potentially lead to a bullish breakout. We could at least retest our high-low MMA at around 6,800, which is very possible. But you can see we've been setting higher lows for the longest of times, and it's finally, consolidating and getting a lot smaller. So what I mean by getting a lot smaller and a lot more compressed is it's kind of like a basketball. So when you have a basketball and you drop it from really high, the first bounce, it moves up much higher. But as it bounces again, it gets a little lower. It bounces again, it gets a little lower. It bounces again, it gets a little lower. And then it kind of flatlines out. So that's what we're kind of seeing here. So you can see the ripple or the waves get a lot bigger as we start, and then they slowly kind of compress like a slinky into a much smaller pattern, and eventually it flatlines, and then we see a break in some direction, either a bullish break upwards or a bearish break downwards to the downside. So we're definitely going to have to pay very close attention to that. The relative strength index on Bitcoin on the daily looks very nice, only at 50. So again, it's interesting because it gives us, a 50% chance of breaking bullish and a 50% chance of breaking bearish, not necessarily weighted on either side. I'm more so leaning more towards a bullish break even if it's a small bullish break, it'd be nice to see us breaking previous highs that we've had in the past. That would definitely confirm a bullish movement. But I do think we are going to move up to our high-low middle moving average. Obviously, again, I'm not trying to spread FUD, but it is possible that we could break bearish. And in the event that we do so, I will be reporting it. If you do want to try to make money off of this movement right now, I would definitely recommend waiting to see what happens at E. It's very possible we hit E and move right back down to 6,300 fairly soon, fairly quick. You can see we have not yet retested. Like we've tested C, we've tested A here, the top of the downtrend. We have not yet tested the top of the downtrend. We are definitely headed there right now. In the next 2 or 3 days, we should finally be at a price movement of around E and the downtrend, and then we'll see if we can break through that with enough volume injection into the market. We can see some sort of price action moving us back up to around 68.55 and then potentially even higher. I did make a video a few weeks ago, if not a month or two ago, basically talking about the potential of seeing a Bitcoin back at 8,500 by the end of 2018 into the start of 2019. So we're definitely going to see if that holds true. You know, that was a price prediction, and we're going to see whether or not it decides to take a leap of faith to there. Otherwise, Ethereum looks so weird, guys. It looks so weird. It's nice to see that it's just trading sideways, but this is so flatlined. It's weird to say, like, these are, I wouldn't call it stable coins, but the price has been very stable in the past couple of days, in the past couple of weeks. You know, we've just been trading sideways and not much volume has been, you know, entered the market. And I did read a lot of you guys' comments. You guys are saying it's very weird, not the price just staying the same, but such a low amount of volume within the crypto space, which is interesting. That could potentially be leading up to a nice pop in all of these currencies. It's nice to see, though, that we are finally out of the downtrend that Ethereum had. It is very possible that we could see this, and I'm really honestly expecting a nice influx in price and just skyrocketing right up to, like, you know, $370 within Ethereum, you know, like overnight. I do truly anticipate some sort of just massive price movement and influx in the price within Ethereum up to a very high level. You know, truly, I could see us just kind of skyrocketing up like this. So I am anticipating some sort of movement. I think Ethereum is a very undervalued coin, and not many people are paying attention to Ethereum. So again, if you have any opinion on how you view Ethereum and the potential of a move as such, let me know in the comments down below. And lastly, to wrap up today's episode, we're going to be looking at XRP. I know Dave C is in love with this coin. Maybe there's a few more people that are in love with it, but I definitely want to look at XRP. I know this is probably bad news to him and he doesn't want to hear it, but we did see a massive influx that we have talked about in previous videos. We were right there beside it, tracking the coin as it shot up. And as I said, when we reach, you know, I think we retested about, we were looking on the daily, now it's the 4 hour, but we shot way above the daily. We were up at around, like, I think 50, and then we kept going up to 80, and then I said we were extremely oversold, extremely overbought, and we needed to retrace back down. And as you can see, as soon as I said that, we did retrace. We then continued to fall, and we kind of have some sort of uptrend here, a very small uptrend at that. I'm going to delete that as of right now because we did break bearish from that. I did say, and I think yesterday or 2 days ago when I did XRP, that we were coming back down to our high-low middle moving average. And I always said that when we see massive influxes in price like this, it's not stable, it's not sustainable. So stable and sustainable, two key words for today's video. It's not sustainable, so we needed to pull back down. We needed to correct the price movement into a more neutral, stable movement, you know? So not taking this massive elevator up, more of a staircase up. That's the better way to look at it. So we did move up. We did retrace back down. We didn't necessarily hit the high-low middle moving average. We then moved right back up to around 61 cents. And now you can see we retraced back down as we kind of touched the tip of being overbought. We are pulling back down, and we went right to the high-low MMA for the 4 hour. Like I've said numerous times, it is a very, very, very good key to use to trade off of. You can see we're currently below the high-low MMA. You can see on the 4 hour, we're currently oversold on the high-low MMA and the relative strength index. So that is why we're seeing this nice little, you know, dip in the price. It's very interesting because I've had this line drawn from, I think a couple of days ago, and it seems to be doing quite well. You can see we're kind of pulling back, and it's very possible that we could continue to go lower. At the current short term, I do think we're going to stay here, if not retrace back up, retest the top of the high-low MMA. You do see the green band crossing over the red band, which is kind of a bearish signal in my book. But we could move right back up and retest the top of here and could potentially break bearish again and trade lower. I do just want to check out the daily before I wrap things up with today's episode. So yeah, this is pretty much what I was talking about in the past. So hopefully, Dave C., you are listening. I'm sure you do. You always watch all my videos. I do appreciate that. So the one thing that I wanted to point out to you was, here we go. Let me just fix this. So we were in some sort of downtrend. We broke bullish. Like you saw, we retraced, or we shot up all the way to 78, 80 cents. When we were about right here where I started drawing in these candles, I said we needed to retrace back down to our high-low middle moving average. As you guys can see, we then shot up even further. If you remember when I was doing that technical analysis, I was very surprised we went higher, but I knew it wasn't stable and it wasn't going to be price that we stayed at because of how extremely overbought we were even on the daily. So a retrace was necessary, a correction was necessary, and obviously we did just that. We retraced all the way back. We fell all the way down actually to around 43 cents following, I guess, 1, 2, 3, 4 days later, if not 3 days later. You can see a day later we almost retested it, but we shot way back up. And you can see we then decided to correct, kind of move up, retest our 61 cent resistance, and then we fell after that, and we've just kind of been declining after that. You can see we are retesting our high-low MMA on the daily at this current moment, and you can see it is a closed candle. It is not a wick as such. It is a closed candle, so it's a lot more strong. We could, you know, potentially retrace back up and call that a wick. You know, it could turn into a wick over time. We're only going to see how this candle closes, but it's very possible we could do a slight bounce off of this high-low MMA on the daily. We could see a price pull up. This is a kind of a good buying zone in the fact that we are testing here. So I would probably start my position in XRP. If I was to trade this, I wouldn't buy all in here. I would start to pyramid down if I wanted to invest in XRP. I would buy here and just kind of see what happens. Put a small amount in. If we retrace back up, sell it and you make some money. Otherwise, if we start to pull back down, I would just kind of pyramid down until we are oversold in XRP. Otherwise, that's kind of going to sum up the episode for today, guys. If you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe, turn on post notifications. Like I said, giveaway at 5,000 subscribers. We're literally at 4,992. 8 more people left, and then I get to give away some free stuff, and who doesn't like free stuff? So on that note, make sure to turn on post notifications so you don't miss the rules for the giveaway. Otherwise, I'll see you guys in tomorrow's episode. Peace.